Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now is Major Ken Perrone with the Salvation Army. So nice to meet you. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here.
Yeah, and so tell me a little bit about your background and what brought you into this area of service in your life.
Wow. So I'm from Southern California, and I grew up in a little town called Sunland, and I went to the Salvation Army in Glendale, worked at Salvation Army camp. I met my wife at Salvation Army camp.
Oh, really?
It did take us 10 years and 88 days to get married, so we don't rush into things. But and then I joined the Marines. I moved down to Oceanside, and then after the Marines, I went to college, became an electrical engineer. But I never really felt it was a great job, and I made a lot of money, but it wasn't really fulfilling. And I found the most fulfilling part of my life was working with kids at the Salvation Army. And so the Lord led us in a full-time ministry. We gave that up, our regular jobs, and joined the Salvation Army, went to seminary, and that was 27 years ago. And I love telling people I haven't had a job in 27 years. It's been amazing.
Yeah. Well, and that's how it feels when you know you've found your purpose, right?
Yeah.
That it's the joy that not only are you giving to others, but it brings to you. And so that's incredible. What an incredible story. How old were you when you met your wife?
I was just 17 and she was 15.
Wow.
And it was.
And so was there sparks then, or did it develop over time?
I think there were some sparks then, but we dated and stopped dating so many times over those years. It was, it's a miracle.
Well, you were very young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's incredible. Look at you now. So let's talk about some of the current programs that the Salvation Army does. Your tagline is, what, do the most good?
Doing the most good,
Do the most good. So, like one of the things that you guys do, anti-trafficking services.
Right. So here in Orange County, we've been around in Orange County. It's hard to believe, 136 years in Orange County. 136 years. And the Salvation Army itself has been around 159 years.
Wow.
And to think about that, and what have we really been about? It's been doing the most good, but in Orange County, it's about transforming lives. And so part of our programs, and we look at all our programs, that's what we're really trying to accomplish and working with people, is transform their lives. So the anti-trafficking program is a program designed for ladies that made bad decisions, or other people have been forcing them into sexual trafficking, and so they've been arrested, or they've been picked up, or they've turned themselves in to try to get some help. And so we have a safe home for them where they live with us, and we help them get back on their feet and get to be productive citizens again in the community. It's a very traumatic experience for them, even to be removed from that environment to come live with us, because now they're with people that just love on them and just want to see the best for them. While at the same time, we're isolating them from the people that before wanted to really just cause them harm.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, and as you said, life-changing to just to have that support and that safety. What a relief it must be for the women that you work with.
To know there's some place to go.
Yeah. Because
when ladies are in that situation, it can feel so depressing and so overwhelming, because they don't know that there's a place for them. They don't know that there's a way out for them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful you're doing that. And then you have like a long-term shelter as well.
Right.
A guest house.
Yeah, so you're talking about the AES shelter?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have an Anaheim Emergency Shelter. It's a 425-bed facility. And so it's really a tiered shelter, meaning if you think about when the people are on the street, let's just call that level 0 or getting up to bat, it's pretty raw. These guys are on the street, sign, using drugs. A lot of times there's mental health issues going on. In fact, I guarantee there's people within your community here that have family members and possibly sons or daughters or grandsons and granddaughters that are on the street right now in the local area and wondering where they are. And they probably wonder, where can they go when they contact them? And the Anaheim Emergency Shelter is a place like that. So we take them right off the street, right where they are at, and that's our kind of first base. And from there, we try to get them the assistance they need. They might leave there and go to alcohol and drug treatment. They might leave there and do mental health treatment. But we'll work with them to try to get them stabilized in their situation. And then we work on the goal for them is always stable income, stable housing. So obviously our ultimate goal always is regular job, regular housing. But for some people, it might wind up in government-assisted housing. It might wind up in a recovery type house. It's a variety of exits that they might have. But that's what the Anaheim Emergency Shelter does. It's really taking people that are raw right off the street and giving them the assistance they need to be productive members of the great Orange County community.
And there's so many different reasons for homelessness, and sometimes you just need that helping hand that suddenly can give you hope, suddenly show you there's a different way to go about this, and there is help to help you.
Yeah, I like talking about what we do is 3 R's, right? You know, we're faith-based organization, and we never make it a requirement for somebody to make a commitment of faith before they receive assistance. We don't believe that's what Jesus did, so we don't do that. But our motivation is motivated by the love of God. So we reach out. That's how we look at everyone. And so we look at people not as a mistake or something bad. We look at them as wow, you're just a few steps away from victory. And some people look at them as victims, and we look at them as victors. They're just so close to victory. And so we look at it from the standpoint of our 3 R's, which is rescue the perishing. We take them from the streets to the sheets, right? So, and then the second part of that is we want to renew the ability to thrive, meaning we believe everybody was created in God's image and therefore has incredible value, and therefore they can thrive. Now, their level of thriving is going to be different, each person's, right? So a person that used to be in construction might be able to go back to construction. A person that's never had a job, really stability in their life, getting a job and being stable in their life would be thriving. So it's different for everybody's path is different. But renew the ability to thrive. It's just that idea that we're going to walk alongside you, believe in you till you believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the third one is restoring healthy community. And that, you know, bad community is what brought them to us, right? So if they actually had good community or they were listening to their community, they would never come through our doors.
Right.
But we want to teach them to have good community. So restore healthy community is that idea that we're going to work together so you understand what it's like to be in a community, a good community, and that what that means is that you're giving back also. So whether it be in volunteering or just having a productive life, meaning regular job, regular housing, that's part of being part of the greater Orange County community. So rescue the perishing, renew the ability to thrive, and restore a healthy community. That's what we do. That's when we talk about transforming lives, that's what we look at.
I love the whole mindset of that. That's just incredible. And so not only the homelessness, you also do drug and alcohol rehabilitation as well.
Yeah.
Which that's incredible.
Yeah, so the Salvation Army Drug and Alcohol Program right here in Anaheim has been around for many, many years. And we have 144 beds for men and 35 beds for women. And that program is for, again, folks to get off drugs and alcohol. They get the tools they need. It's a 6-month residential treatment plus additional months to kind of help them get stabilized and get jobs and again, regular income, regular housing. So many amazing stories there. And if anybody wants to go by and just be touched on a Wednesday night, just drop by chapel service, they'll cry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, it's incredible. We're running out of time so quickly, but
Sure.
I know we wanted to mention planned giving legacy gifts.
Sure. So, you know, the Salvation Army, we work off other people's generosity, really. The reason that we can do what we do is because of other people's generosity. And so planned giving and legacy gifts, they are gifts that at the end of your life and you're dealing with your estates or your heirs are dealing with your estates, that's where you can give money back to the Salvation Army to kind of see the work of the Salvation march on into the future. While you might give those funds to your grandsons and grandchildren and children, they just buy jet skis that'll be gone for a couple of years. But when you donate that money to the Salvation Army, that money becomes a legacy that continues to operate years and years and years afterwards. It sees lives transformed. It sees people rescued and people renewed and people restored. And so that's what planned giving is. It's not just giving, figuring out what you're going to do with your money when you pass on. It's really, how do I make an impact in this community after I've gone on?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on today and sharing all this with us.
Thank you.
And bless you in all your work you're doing.
Oh, I love what I do.
If you would like to find out more information and to consider donating to the Salvation Army, you can go online to orangecounty.salvationarmy.org and also check out this video we have coming up next. Stay with us. We'll have more right after this.
When you really need help, the Salvation Army will tide you over, give you shelter, give you food, and help you get back on your feet.
The Salvation Army helps human beings, all over the world.
I'd do anything in my power to try to help them out.
Some people's legacies are engraved on monuments, but yours can be written on lives. With careful planning, you can take care of your family and serve your community, and the Salvation Army can help.
Every year, we would get a charitable gift annuity with the Salvation Army. This helps me, it helps my daughter, and it helps the Army.
I chose to create an endowment for the Salvation Army.
It's one of the few major decisions I've ever made in my life I am completely comfortable with.